Alright, hey everyone, welcome back to Octopath Traveler 2. We are at the point where we can trigger the epilogue. We did a lot of side quests and I think I pretty much completed almost all the side quests in the entire game, leaving only one, a gate between worlds, which turns out that island with a question mark, it's to do with this guy Al, who we met in the library. We gave him a book, he figured something out. And so the final boss, or rather hidden secret boss, is in this place, on this island here. So we found this island very early on, but now we know what it's for, and the gates are open. I did try the boss and I died twice. It's a really difficult boss, a lot more difficult than the final boss in the game. I managed to clear the first phase of the fight, but the second phase of the fight seems just ridiculously difficult, and maybe the right team combination might get me through it, but I haven't quite figured it out. Regardless, I'm gonna want to go through the epilogue and sort of call this game an end, because I think beyond this is all just a little bit of side questing and all the other stuff for achievements basically. So the main game is over, the story is over, it's time to review the game. Now let me just pop up my formation here. No, I think which would be a nice place to just sit for a bit. I think the map is kind of a nice place to sit, right? Yeah, let's just sit on the map. So while we sit on the map, let me talk a little bit about how I have enjoyed this game, and let me show you guys the ratings. Let me pull it up. All right, I've got the ratings text here. Let me try to see if I can make that look just a little bit nicer. I do think the font is struggling a little bit. Give me a sec. All right, and I think that that would be so much better. Now, let me talk through how I feel about this game in terms of its music. Now, I've played a lot of good games this year, namely Chained Echoes, and also I think I also enjoyed what was it? Sea of Stars. I also enjoyed what's the other one? Cassette Beasts, and these are all great RPG games I think that we can use to compare. I even played Dave the Diver in between as well, so there's a lot of, I would say, okay, Dave the Diver is a little bit of a further comparison, but among the other RPG games where there's a lot of mechanics and combat mechanics and things like taming monsters and characters with skills, class combinations, type combinations, elemental attacks, and all of these things. So yeah, quite a lot of great experiences this year, and I think this game, one thing about this game overall is its music is really, really good. But it's not the kind of music, as I said, in one way I judge these games is it the kind of music that you want to just vibe for because it's so freaking good? And I had that experience in something like a set piece, Baldur's Gate 3, and certain games like those where the music is just so good and so in depth that you can listen to it way after playing the game. And you could even just chill, like take a breath while you're playing the game and realize how amazing the music is and just vibe to it. And the thing about Octopath 2 is that the music is really, really good, and I think it gets kind of repetitive as time goes on, which as does most music, but it really fits and suits the world it's in. The monster battles, I think, could have had some more interesting tunes. That would be my biggest complaint, but it's not the kind of music that I would want to go back and just keep listening to. But it was a great experience. I'm going to give this a 1.5 out of 2. Oh, on point 0.5. There we go. 1.5 out of 2 for the music. Now, the second part is I'm going to want to talk about the graphics. Now, the graphics in this game really had to, like, it sort of grew on me, but I'm not the biggest fan of the 2.5D mixed with 3D, mixed with 2D. It's just such a weird thing to see characters that look pixel graphic, but in a world where the water is 3D, everything else just looks like a low quality 2D mesh. And that would be my biggest complaint. But as time went on, I kind of liked certain scenes and certain moments, and I feel like a lot of events in the story, be it side quests or main quests, there were a lot of times where the screen just fades to black and not even shows a cutscene. It doesn't show as a moment of, for example, when you are at the inventor's place and you're getting upgrades with the inventor. They didn't even show us a cutscene of the inventor actually upgrading something. It's such a weird decision not to even show that. Like if you play Final Fantasy, they show the cooking scene of all the cooking being done, or Monster Hunter, where all the cooking's being done. And similarly, even in games like Cassette Beast or Dave the Diver, you see the actions of things happening. You see cooking in Dave the Diver, and I think in what do you call this, Chained Echoes, especially, a lot of cutscenes were actually shown. They actually showed the cutscenes. They showed behind the scenes. They showed the villain scenes. There's a lot of lore building and world building shown through the graphics. It's a show don't tell. Of course, there's a bit of exposition here and there as well, but the point is that they really, I felt they went almost all the way with having so much work done in this game, but not quite finishing it, which is why I felt like a lot of scenes where it's like fade to black, sound plays, or just text is shown. It's like, what the hell? You guys couldn't even afford showing us a cutscene. Like, there's such a big game, so much art is put into it. You have all these characters walking around chit-chatting, and some random stuff get cutscenes. Like some side characters get more cutscenes than main characters, and it's just so weird. And even things like banter, like when there's moments these characters can do banter in the inn or whatever. They're just talking to each other. It's not even like a proper cutscene or different graphics to show us the different scenarios. Characters are not even moving around. They're just in like in some altered alternate world where they're just standing still and just dialogue pops out of over their head. And that's it. It's so expressionless, it's so lame, poorly done. And so some of the weaker parts of this game is definitely the graphics, and I'm going to give a 1 for the graphics. That's not to say it's not good. Trust me, the graphics in this game is pretty good, but as I said, I felt that there wasn't enough effort put into it, and so at most I can give is a 1.5, which I would say it would be quite generous. But yeah, there's just much better games out there with better graphics, and it's not just about how high definition it is or whether it's 4K, whether it's 3D. It's about how you utilize it, and I think that's kind of the places where I felt like it wasn't properly utilized, even though it was great. Now, gameplay and feel, I felt that in general the gameplay is very, very straightforward. Um, the mechanics, however, have a lot of depth. And what I mean by that is gameplay is you press button, press button, press button, and use skill, and that's it. And then you switch between characters, you switch between skills, and you just use them. That's it. That's the gameplay. There's no timing. There's no skill involved with gameplay. It's not like mouse clicks. It's not a keyboard movement. There's no real time action. There's no reaction based thought processes. There's no awareness needed. There's nothing like that. It's just click, 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 and it's very easy and it's fun. And I like the feel of it. It plays really well. It's very smooth. I didn't experience a single bug in this game. It went really, really great for me. And also, there's a lot of these tedious mechanics that they introduce later on. Like I would say, is part of gameplay where you have to do day and night cycles in the same location, and it's not really story driven. It's just there because they want the characters to be able to do something day and night. Sometimes it is interesting that you have to do certain things during the day, certain things during the night. But as time went on, it became a bit of a chore as well because there's so many side quests in this game, and more than often you're doing pretty much the same thing. But there, again, at the same time, some of the side quests were even better than the main quests themselves, because some of the stories were so touching, so deep. A lot of characters were very much respected on the side quests than the main quests. I felt a lot of main quest characters were not quite respected enough. Like when, for example, when Crick dies and Temenos has to be upset, there was no real feeling of where Temenos could have tried to save him. There's no decision making. There's no change in the story. It's very linear, and that's where like it doesn't matter what kind of gameplay you have. The if the game feels so linear, you can't really push it too far. And so I would say for the gameplay and feel in general, I had a great time overall. It's just that it kind of gets repetitive, nothing really special, nothing really unique, and as time goes on, it just feels kind of boring, I would say. Now the mechanics, as I said, has a lot of fun, great mechanics. Difficulty in the game in general is nothing very special. There were a few bosses which I had to fight 2 or 3 times, and I really enjoyed those fights. But in general, a lot of bosses were just a one-time sweep, and you can out-level them, which I don't really like. The leveling up mechanics in games is a bit of a I don't know. I feel like if bosses can scale up a little bit and you just learn more things to use, that's a bit more interesting than just being able to beat the boss because your numbers are bigger or the boss beating you because their numbers are bigger. That just doesn't feel very fun. Like timing-based events and stuff are not so frequent in this game. And so I felt they could have done a lot better in this department, and it wasn't really quite there. So yeah, but then again, the building up of the team and building up of the mechanics, and also especially the secret boss right now, which is I don't know, it's nearly unbeatable. I don't know how fair or unfair it is, but it feels very much further than the final boss in the game. And that kind of tells you that they can push the game to be a lot more difficult, but they on purpose didn't just so that people can clear the main story. Maybe I don't know, but again, there's not really much investment in the story either because the story is not that strong. So if you once you beat the bosses, you feel like, what's my reward for beating the bosses? I don't get to save any characters. I don't get to change the way the story works. Nothing really affects my own team. They just continue with the dialogues, and I just had to watch it like some graphic novel, right? So in terms of mechanics and difficulty, I think this is where I can probably give the game full marks. But yeah, and probably in the gameplay it loses out a little bit. But that's that. As I said, for the story and lore, a lot of the side characters get better story than the main characters, and that kind of really, really sucks. I wish there was a little bit more thought process put into that. But yeah, that's the most I can give it. I think for gameplay and feel, I'll stick to my 1. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 out of 10. Yeah. Let me think. Would I be able to cut marks here? I might be able to cut some marks here, but I feel that this one compared to Chain Echoes is so much better of a game because it's an indie game and it can do a lot better story, pretty competitive mechanics. Like even compared to this game, there's so much depth to it. There's so much itemization, customization, and it's not very level dependent because you just use the mechanics of the equipment that you have to sort of figure out how to get through certain points and stories in the game. You know, in this one, it's just very much level dependent. So if you are high level enough, even if shitty equipment, you can sort of figure things out and get through the game. And so this is my general feeling about the game. It's a 7 out of 10. I do feel there's certain things that we can, I can probably give a little bit more, a little bit less, but I'm going to be a bit neutral about it and try to be a little bit harsh as well because I feel like I really enjoyed this game and I do want to come back and try to compete in the future. So 7 out of 10 is where I'm going to be stopping it. But it's been great. I really had fun, and if you guys have not checked it out, please do. And if you guys feel that this game is an 8 or 9 or a 10 out of 10, I am really happy for you because that means you really enjoyed the game, and I think that would be amazing to know. But for me personally, as I said, I can't really give full marks for the music and can't really give full marks for the graphics. The story as well, I can't really give full marks for the story. And the gameplay and feel is probably where I can probably bump it up another mark, but it's nothing really special coming from a place where I've played so many RPG games, so many great games as I said, in the recent year and the past 2 years especially. So there's no way this game stands in the likes of an 8 or a 9 for me at least. A 10 out of 10 is like a Baldur's Gate, and a 9 or an 8 probably it's like one of those games that you really enjoyed that maybe should have been a 7 like Chain Echoes. I do believe I give Chain Echoes a 7, but I do believe that personally I think it's an 8 or a 9. But I was objective about it because it being an indie game, it just couldn't do that much. But if it had, I think the team that this game has with the creative mind behind Chain Echoes, I think it would have been a solid 10 because that game is absolutely amazing for an indie game. This game has so much more effort put into it, but I feel like it just lacks in certain departments for, I don't know, strange reasons. So, yep, let's get back into the game and watch the epilogue. Okay. Journey nears completion. That's what it says.
It's always good to see a familiar sight.
Voice acting.
Yes, even if it's for the last time.
This is it, isn't it? The end of our journey.
Hey now, who's saying that? There's still plenty of steps left in these legs.
Indeed. We each will continue on our own paths.
To travel is to live, or so they say.
Ochet? I feel sad. I don't want to say goodbye.
I too find myself reluctant to part ways with everyone. How odd.
It won't be the same without you. I'll miss our feasts.
As will I.
I don't want to forget this moment. This feeling. You won't, Ochet. We won't.
Our journey will live on forever, in here.
Well said.
Right. I'm so glad I met everyone. I'll never forget our adventures together.
Are they all leaving like one by one or something?
Not even when I'm old and gray. You can count on it. Never.
I mean, we saved the world. I doubt you can forget that.
But let's see each other before then.
Well, I'll be. Seems half got something in my eyes. This ain't a farewell, you hear? I put no stock in them. Happy trails.
It was an honor to journey by your side. Come to Ku whenever you please, and you'll be welcomed with open arms. You have a friend for life.
Damn, they are actually
May the roads
splitting up
ahead
here, I
of you
think.
be filled with fortune and smiles.
I wonder what happens to the final boss then. Oh no, could we finish it?
If you fall sick or become wounded, send a letter. I shall come with haste.
During our journey, I found something I never thought I would. Something even more important than meat. I won't forget you all. Until next time.
Right. Thanks for everything. Sorry. I'm terrible at these things.
Okay, aren't we gonna say anything?
Until we meet again.
God damn it, Temenos, like say something.
Well then, I suppose I should be off. Off to unveil more truths.
Wow, okay, so I guess that's it. Let's just watch through this. Damn, this is kind of nostalgic. All the bosses that we went through. Crick, RIP. Temenos solving the first puzzle. Oh, this was amazing. That one really sold it for me. Oh, right, this boss was so difficult. Ossel's boss. Oh my god. That was actually the first difficult boss that we faced. The Warden. Oswald's escape. Oh, Trony's mini boss. This is whatever. A lot of these stories, like especially Trony's stories, all are kind of predictable. Like, of course, it's your dad, and then it was me all along. You know, like all of these basic betrayals. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, I think Partitia definitely had the coolest bosses. Like, Partitia's story is probably the most unique. Yeah, and Agnia's one is pretty fun. Yeah, I think Agnia and Partitia are both very fun, unique characters. For sure, for sure. Troney winning this drinking contest and the other guy dies. I have no idea how this played out actually. Like why he dies. No idea. Ah, this guy. Yeah, this guy's one of the betrayers as well. Like Ochet's boss was predictable from the start. It was the owl that you didn't pick, or I don't know. For those who didn't pick Kala, then it's probably a Kala, right? It's one of the two. Oh, this is like a desert. Was it in the desert? Yeah, I think it's the desert boss. Okay. Oh yeah, the steam machine fight. That was kind of cool. Who was this? Can't quite remember whose boss that was. Oh, the rogues. Okay. Oh, okay, Throne past, flashback. Raise this assassin. What else can you expect? The first Terra fight was pretty awesome, but once we got Terra, it's like, you know, the boss after you unlock the boss, how weak they become. That's what it was, because Terra is not very strong in the final boss fights. Did like peanut damage. I don't know if there's a way to boost Terra's damage, but I don't know, maybe boosting magic attack or something. It just doesn't work. But Ocha's great in the mid game. She clears, like, she can just screen clear the mid game really, really well with Terra. And also, she's really fun. The whole Pokemon thing is really fun. Plus, she breaks enemies really, really well with her provoke skill. Yeah, which is why I took a Battle Master off her. But if it's just 4 characters, like we're not fighting the final boss or whatever, if it's just 4 characters, Battle Master Ochet is the greatest character in the game, at least my opinion. She's just insane. She can immediately reveal enemy weak points in like a bulk with the 6-fold, and then unleash provoke of like, I don't know, 6 beasts or whatever to break the enemy's shield. Now you can be the strongest boss in the game, but you wouldn't have a shield. Ah. Glacius, I don't know what's the deal with Articuno actually. Like, it seemed like a very powerful thing as well when we unlocked it. And it's very good in the mid game, but I expected like some of these to last in the end game because it's like Ochet's 3 BP move, but it just doesn't do enough. Which is really kind of sad. Hmm. Now this is the Owl boss. That's Aslan. Dulcinea. Right, Agnes boss. Oh, this is fun. Agnia getting to perform. This is Throne's dad, right? Yeah, I think it's Throne's dad. Yeah. It reminds me of that Hunter x Hunter villain guy. What's his name? God damn it. Crollo, I think. It reminds me of that Hunter x Hunter guy, Crollo. I don't know why. Is it like the chains or something? Something to do- I think it's like the cross and the chains, like this weird Japanese Christian guy. It's it's one of those ideas. Hmm. That fight with Hikari was pretty awesome. There's the only fight like only character boss that had a phase 3. Very, very battle heavy. Um, but that was great for sure. Oh, and also with his daughter. Actually, I don't know how the story ends. Like, did he ever go back to visit his daughter? Will they tell us? Oh, the train fight. Train fight. This train fight is so easy. This train fight is so easy. I don't know whether because we were all prepared for the end game, but that train fight is so easy. And then we can't beat the secret boss. How much more preparation do you want me to do, game? Because we barely spent time farming, to be fair. Most of the time we enter around the maps and whatnot was to look for items and side quests, not really farming. So I think I do appreciate that the game didn't want us to just sit and farm somewhere. But now we are stuck with a secret boss. This is the final boss, by the way. But now we're stuck with a secret boss and we can't beat it. I think we do have to finally give up and farm. I think that's just the way it's gonna be. Okay, what happens now? New Delta? Okay.
Lively as ever,
Oh,
I
we're
say.
here with Temenos, okay.
Now then, to find my lost lambs.
What are you up to, Temenos? Oh, so we told the team to meet up here or
It's good
something?
to see. Let us be on our way.
Hey, yo, chat.
Hey, I've got plenty of food for everyone, so let's go!
Oh, we're having a big party? Oh, this sounds fun. We go here first. We go here first. Patricia should be nearby. Oh wait, no, it's
Hey there, I'm Paula. I'm so glad you could make it.
oh. We got Paula? Okay. Patricia's here.
No time for.
Okay. Gotta go down to the back streets. Uptown girl. I've been looking for. Oh, Cassidy's here.
I'm looking forward to the performance.
So I guess Agnia is gonna be performing here. Right, that seems to be the deal. Is it in here? We never figured out that NPC over here and what they do. Never figured it out. Hey, Oswald.
I hate.
We hate crowds. Well, Oswald's like me then. I did want to start off the game with Oswald, to be honest, but I think we really enjoyed it with Temenos. Like, Temenos is great. Like, he's such a fun character, and his like his investigative side and his story really was good. Oh, of course, Ronnie, you're here. Okay, now what? We go back. Where are we supposed to go? Back here? Go in here, okay. You're gonna end this with the dance?
Life is a journey.
Oh, okay, she speaks. So what's this
The
about?
places you go, the deeds you do, the tales whose hero you become. Every road is yours to take. I once went on a journey. I was one of 8. My friends and I visited every corner of the realm. The winding road we walked was full of surprises. And I know the memories we made will be with me forever. Looking back on them now brings a comforting warmth to my heart. Our lives are both a journey and an adventure. The path ahead may be dangerous, and you may even feel like giving up when the night is long and dark.
And
But
full of terrors?
remember,
Okay.
in those times, especially in those times, you don't need to walk alone. No path is too perilous.
What's this
So
PSA?
long as friends are at your side. Walk astride to the dawn.
Hey, there we are. Oh, Aslan's here too. So is Acta. Oh, we got that little orphan girl who is in Trone's story. Oh damn, the whole shebang is here. Partitious guys.
I hope that your journey
Wow, okay.
and the dawn that awaits are filled with light. This song is for you. Octopath Traveler.
Is that the name of the song? Thank you for traveling with us. Nice. Let's just vibe to this for a bit. Well, I think we can call this goodbye. Thanks so much for watching. Octopath Traveler has been amazing. And I personally really enjoyed the game. But yeah, I wish that so many things were done differently. And I think I only wish that because I really hope that this game was even better because of how much of time I've spent in this game enjoying it. So big thanks to, I guess, Square Enix for making this game, to all of those of you who actually tuned in. And as always, I really hope that you guys play the game for yourself. And that's the best hope that I can have for people who do watch gameplays or anything like that. It's fun. If you don't have the time, you watch gameplays because you can do that on the side, just listening in or whatever. But yeah, some things are just best explored by yourself, experienced. Wow. And that's it. That's the main theme of Octopath Traveler. Awesome. Let me just see if there is extra battles. What's this? So we get to pick an autosave and we do extra battles? Is that the way it works? New game? Okay. But I guess we can continue. Sure. But it's been great. Take care, guys. I'll catch you in Path of Exile, actually, I think. Well, adios.